guys, welcome back to KimPlaysPokemon. This is another subscriber battle. Today it's against Blasty. I've been trying out something new today. I'm going with 6v6 single battles. Shock horror. I know a lot of you have wanted me to do that, so I thought I'd give it a go, and luckily it wasn't too bad, so I will show you the match that I had with him. With this guy, I predicted that he was gonna lead with either Ferrothorn or Registeel. So obviously I went with my fire type Talonflame, and I didn't know if he had Stealth Rock, so I scouted him out with a Protect, and he didn't. He tried to paralyze me, so I Flare Blitzed him. And I was pretty gutted because it didn't knock him out in one, but it did burn him, so I knew he was going to die. But I was kind of like not expecting him to use Stealth Rocks, so I decided to go with a Roost in my next turn, because the burn doesn't kill him because he had leftovers. So he swaps out and I go for Roost. Because I wanted to be able to safely switch Talonflame back in later on without dying from the Stealth Rocks. And he sent out a Azumarill, so obviously I was predicting an Aqua Jet, so I swapped out for my my Abomasnow. And I take the Aqua Jet from the Azumarill. Doesn't do a lot, takes me to just below half, so he withdraws him then, and he sends out his Registeel, so I megaed my Abomasnow, and I used Giga Drain, which was meant for the Azumarill, but it goes on the Registeel, but still takes him out, so it wasn't wasted. And I got like 2 HP back or something like that. And then he sends out Ferrothorn, and these have been bugging me lately. He sets up Spikes, and I go with Earthquake at first because I thought it would do a bit more damage than what it actually did. But it didn't do a lot, so I thought for my next turn I was going to go with a Blizzard, because obviously I want to get the fact that it can hit 100%. And I get really lucky with this Blizzard because it actually freezes him. So that was like super lucky on my side. So I see this as like the perfect opportunity to like switch in for my Azumarill and get a Belly Drum up, because he's either gonna wait to thaw out or die from the hail, or he's gonna switch out. Either way, I've got a free turn to set up my Belly Drum, and the hail stops, so he doesn't die from that. I get the Belly Drum off successfully, which I was really pleased about, and obviously Citrus Berry gets me back up to some decent health, and he is still frozen, and I went for a Play Rough so that I can make sure to actually take him out. So I didn't want to waste my time Aqua Jetting and maybe not do as much as I want, but I get pretty annihilated by all his debuffs at the end, like his spikes and everything. And he comes out with the Jump Luff, and I went with an Aqua Jet because I knew that she was probably packing some grass moves, but instead she used Encore. So even though I used that Aqua Jet to try and do as much damage before dying, I was now stuck with the Aqua Jet as my only move, which is fine up to this point because I managed to take out the Jump Luff. But then he sends out his own Azumarill, and I'm pretty low on my HP by now. There's not a lot I can do. I'm still encored, so obviously Aqua Jet was my only option. I take him just below half, and then he KOs me in the face with a double edge. But that does damage him as well, so it's not all too bad. And then I send out my Hawlucha. He's one of my favourites at the moment. I'm really enjoying using him. And he then withdraws on my switch and sends out his Greninja. So I use Acrobatics because it's a good move, and with me not having an item and everything, it's a bit harder hitting. And I swap in then for my Mega Abomasnow because I didn't want him to take out my Hawlucha, but I did forget about the spikes, so he gets pretty annihilated. It's a waste of a turn really, because even though he uses Ice Beam, it still KOs me. So my next step after that, I decided to send in my own Greninja. And he's another Pokemon I've started enjoying. He has some pretty cool like techniques. So I go with the Dark Pulse just because I knew it would take him out. And he then switches to. I forget what he switches to. I'm just healing myself with leftovers. And he switches back to that Azumarill. So I didn't want him to just like one hit KO me, but he manages to get me down to like 16 HP. So I used the U-turn so that I could get out of there, but at least do a tiny bit of damage. And I sent in my Hawlucha again. Because I know that he can withstand a hit from this Azumarill. It's not going to kill him, and I hit him again with the Acrobatics because that's my best move for combating him. The Aqua Jet doesn't do a lot. Well, it gets me down to red, but it doesn't kill me. And once I've got rid of him, all he has left is a Absol. He has an Absol and he megas that, and I was starting to panic a little bit at this point. I was like, oh god, what if he sucker punches me and like takes me out, and then all I've got left is like a Greninja with like 16 HP. But I got really lucky and I thought, meh, I'm gonna risk it, and I go for the Flying Press and managed to one hit KO him, so I got really lucky. And that was his last Pokemon, so I won that one. I'm pretty impressed with that because I'm not really good at 6v6, I've only just started practicing it. So if you'd like to battle me 6v6 or VGC or doubles, send me a comment below, tweet me, I'll get back to you. See you later.